I'm Arcadia Nova, and today I'm interviewing
Kristen Hughey.
First question for you is: everybody has a fandom or of some sort that, or a movie or comic or fandom that gets them into like being a nerd or a geek. So what got it started for you?
For me, it was definitely sci-fi TV shows because my dad was big into Star Trek and that kind of thing. But then, first and foremost, it was gaming. That's been a bonding thing for my family since we were kids.
Okay.
So, I mean, we had consoles growing up, and we all played together. And I mean, I guess we kind of did that, not instead of watching movies, but every now and then we would all just like game together, and we still do it to this day. So, that's my heart.
Now, what got you into the cosplay side of it?
From gaming there, I guess I didn't really realize that people got together outside of the virtual world, and I'm really an introvert, so it's really kind of hard for me to meet like-minded people. I didn't realize I was a geek. That's just something I did, was played games with my family and that. So when I realized that conventions were a thing, I just decided to go, and then I realized that cosplay was also a thing that happened at conventions. So I made a couple costumes, I commissioned one, and just went and it grew from there, I guess.
And are you wearing cosplay today? And if so, who are you cosplaying as? What was the inspiration?
I am. It's a little bit. It's a casual looking cosplay, but it's Garth from Wayne's World. So Leanne Vamp and I are cosplaying as Wayne and Garth. She's the Wayne to my Garth today.
Okay.
And this was just like a fun, comfy costume that we wanted to do, just to have fun and be silly, and also because we have to get on flights later today. So that too.
Now I had mentioned earlier. Excuse me. I mentioned earlier about the LeBlanc costume, but aside from LeBlanc and of course cosplaying from Wayne's World, where's some other big name costumes or like well-known cosplays you've done?
I've done so many. I think Jade from Mortal Kombat was like one of the first ones that I did.
Okay.
That was my commissioned one that I did at my first convention. That one, a lot of people love it. It's really recognizable. But I've done Janna from League of Legends, also Cammy from Street Fighter, Rainbow Mika from Street Fighter. Those are some of the more popular gaming ones, I would say.
And if you were to pick some favorites and then one that was like the most challenging, it turned out really good, but it was like it almost drove you nuts. What would that be one?
Well, actually, my LeBlanc, and now I look at it and I feel like it's not very good because I'm a perfectionist and I've learned so many skills since then. But I remember at the time I was making it, it was so challenging. I had no idea what I was doing, and I was really proud of it when I finally put it on and wore it. But oh my goodness, blood, sweat, and tears in that one.
And then a couple of favorites, like if you were to name a couple of favorites, like the ones that you hold closest to your heart.
Janna from League of Legends, because that was the first one that I did. I worked with Warbla a lot, so I learned a lot in resin and sewing. I kind of incorporated a few different skills, as well as making the prop, and I am not good at props at all. So I guess that was probably one of my favorites. And then also, I've done a few different versions of Daenerys from Game of Thrones, and I just absolutely love the show, and I love her character, so I love doing that one.
Now, what would you say is your method for putting together a cosplay? Like, how do you plan it out and then actually make the costume?
I plan it out just by researching. It comes from whatever inspiration or whatever characters I love. So I have a huge list of what I want to make, and then from there I kind of collect materials, collect reference photos, and try to figure out how to put it together from there. And just when I have the time, the motivation, that kind of thing, I'll just make it.
Have you won any awards for any of your work?
One time. I'm not I don't like competition. It's not in my blood. So, well, actually, it's in my blood with myself. I compete with myself all the time, but with other people, no, I just do this for fun. So I did enter one costume contest with my Miss Marvel masquerade gown a couple years ago, and I did win Best Female for that, Best Female costume for that. So that was really exciting, and since I won something, I feel like I'm done. I don't need to compete anymore.
Now, for people who wanted to go into cosplaying but are unsure of it because like the downsides, what advice would you give?
For starting out?
Yeah.
Use Google. Google Foo. You need to practice your Google Foo. And YouTube. I mean, if you want to make something, someone else has probably already made that exact costume or something similar. So just Google like tutorials on how to make a Supergirl costume or whatever costume you're looking into, and hopefully someone has already made either a YouTube video or a website type thing, blog, I guess.
Now, these next two questions I'm going to join together. First one is, what does cosplay mean to you, like in your words? And second would be, what would be the downside you see and the positive, like the best part of it?
Okay, well, the best part of it and how I see it is cosplay for me is a way to meet friends. Like I said, I'm not good at that. I'm really an introvert. So, and it's hard for me to just be like, oh, hi, I'm Kristen, I play video games, you know. But coming here, it's almost like that's a known thing. So for me, it's the friendships that I've built from here. I have met some of my nearest and dearest friends just in the past few years, and the bond that we share is just so special, and you just connect on a different level. So that's the most important thing to me. And the worst, the downfall, is the fact that I didn't do this to make a social media page. Now I love it because I get to network with those same people, you know, the good people, but with the good comes the bad, and that really shows up online. So I do have to deal with some trolls every now and then. To me, they're not worth my time. I guess I go by the rule of giving the people who are important your energy, your time and energy. So I pay no attention to anyone who's negative. It's not worth my time or energy. The people who are positive and loving and welcoming are the ones that deserve my attention. So, I mean, while it is a bad thing, I feel like I handle it pretty well. And I mean, for me, everything's really positive. I would say like 98% positive.
Okay, so you've probably cosplayed in a lot of places, but if you had to pick one place, a convention to go to in a heartbeat, what convention would it be, and what costume would you like to bring to that?
For me, for costuming, I have to go with Dragon Con just because it is a convention where you debut like your biggest, best costumes. My dream costume, what would I like to do would be Queen of Blades from StarCraft. But that won't ever happen. I need a team for that.
Now, you have a lot of people look up to you as a cosplayer, but then you probably also have cosplayers you look up to. Mm-hmm. So, in the years you've been cosplaying, what would be like one positive, memorable experience that stood out to you? Like whether like another cosplayer said something to you, or a guest said something to you, or a fan said something to you, like. What's something that really stands out, like you to this day you still remember?
Honestly, it goes back to my costume contest thing. When I first started, Ricky Riddle, she goes by Riddle's Messy Wardrobe, but her name is Ricky Lakoti. She was my idol. Like everything she does is beautiful. She still is my idol to this day. I look up to her for her work ethic, her actual work, the way she treats other people, just who she is as a person altogether. I love her dearly. And the first time I ever met her was at a convention that she was a guest at and was judging the costume contest at. So I was starstruck when I first saw her. I could not go, and I'm shy, so I could not go up and say hi to her. And actually, I finally did. And she was just so sweet and welcoming, and she complimented my costume, and she actually forced me to enter the costume contest. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not here to compete. This isn't very good, you know, that kind of thing. And she was like, just do it. You just have to walk on stage. So I did, and so meeting her and winning that's like that was a huge turning point for me, realizing that, wow, I can do this, and wow, someone appreciates what I do, and wow, I just made a best friend. And now she's like a sister to me, so. And
the fact that she's here today, like, how does it feel like to, like, because now you're actually like a guest with her, along with her.
It's crazy, because we work together all the time now, you know. We bring each other to shows. If she gets an invite, she'll recommend me and vice versa, because we get along so well, we work well together, and I feel like we treat people the same. We're like the same person in that way, so that's why we get along so well.
And my final question would be, where would people get to learn more about your awesome work?
My awesome work. My silliness is located, I'm all over the social media. I love social media now for networking and that kind of thing. So Facebook on /KristenHughey cosplay. Instagram and Twitter would just be @KristenHughey. I do Snapchat now, which I love, which would be @KristenHughey. My website, KristenHughey.com, hasn't really been updated, but I'll get back on that. And then starting YouTube, Kristen Hughey, you can look that up. And then Twitch is my only really weird one, which is KR1ST3N. But I try to live stream on there when I'm not traveling so much.
Thank you very much. It was nice meeting you.
Thank you so much.